Welcome everybody to session 2 of Exiles into the Mist, a Ravenloft campaign, D&D 5e. I just want to try to stop saying and or you're going to be able to turn this into a drinking game, because I looked at last session and boy howdy did we say it a lot. If you like what you see, please feel free to click that follow and subscribe button. Otherwise, we're going to just go ahead and jump straight in today. So, last session we left off, everybody was gathered in the central parlor chamber, table at the center. People needed to rest, people needed to eat. Irina and Esmeralda sort of turned to the group and they're like, well, while we're trying to set up and everything, we also need to, making place for food. Does anybody want to tell us, how you even got here in the first place? Because I don't think we really got any details on how you got here. So this is the perfect time for if somebody wants to give me a recap.
Of course. Clips here. I was Tabaxi in Estrad, knocked on my door, found a crystal, picked it up, gave me some coordinates. That's how I ended up here, with I followed those coordinates. Heathcliff, he got a note from a messenger saying they needed help, which gave directions to location again, which led him to this realm. And then Abel. Oh, no, correct. Okay, sorry. He received notes as well, which said needed help, left town, ended up here. Once we got here, we met each other on the road, and we came across this shadowy figure with wings, if I remember correctly. But it ended up fleeing, and it left behind big black feathers and a planchette on the ground. We then had to fight some skeletons. It did not go our way. Two of us fell, and one of us barely survived.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, that's what brought you guys to us. What can you tell me about your lives beforehand? When Irina asks you this, you realize your memory has gone a little bit foggy. So at this particular time, we're going to try to recover some of your lost memories. So to that end, Mr. Eclipse, can you roll me a percentile?
If I remember correctly, that is the
down at the bottom in the dice tray, there's one that it looks like 2 zeros. Just pick that up and drop it in the dice chat. Or in the chat box. 52. You do remember who your parents were. They come flooding back to you. Can you tell us about your parents?
So both my parents, of course, were Tabaxi. My father was a scholar of sorts. He decided that he ended up specializing in, let's just say, the creatures of our realm. There are many, and they are very strange. And then my mother specialized in alchemy of sorts, apothecary, essentially.
Irina scoffs at the idea of you knowing something about strange creatures of your realm, and she mentions that I myself know a thing or two about strange creatures, and she sort of like eyeballs Heathcliff as she says this, and she turns back to you and says, my parents, I don't remember my mother, but my father is the mayor of the province, the burgomaster, which is equivalently the mayor of the town of Barovia. She looks across the table at Heathcliff, who she had referred to as a strange creature, and says, what about you? Do you remember your parents, Heathcliff? Percentile check, please.
69.
You do, sir. Your parents, the memories of them come rushing back to you. Do you have anything you want to say about yours?
Both of my parents were surface drow. Neither one remembered growing up in the Underdark at all. And let's see here. I'm gonna go with the father would have been a thief. I really don't want to go with the normal trope for the drow women though. The mother would be a.
Well, surface drow don't typically follow the trope, so
I know, which is funny because I want to do it even though they don't follow it. Let's see here. Father was a thief with the Thieves Guild. Mother would have been a. You know what? Let's go different trope and make Mother a barmaid.
Ez just kind of smirks and says, "Well, I know a thing or two about drinking." And as she says this, she pulls out a couple of copper mugs and sets them on the table and fills them from a wineskin. She looks to Abel and says, "How about you, Dragonborn? Do you remember anything of your clutch? And I need a percentile from you, my friend."
37.
Hey, look, you all remember your family. You remember who your parents were.
Huzzah.
And I can just make this up how I want them to be.
Yeah, you can make up whether or not you even remember if they were there. There's actually a table later to determine if they were absent, like why they were absent.
Got a story already in mind.
Okay.
My father, I'm a dragonborn. My father was a dragon in humanoid form. He was a bounty hunter, and he fell in lust with my mother, who was a candle maker. And
So you're like a first generation dragonborn.
that would be yes. And they kind of, when I got older, Dad took off, and Mom couldn't take care of me anymore, so she left me with the order, and that's how that order raised me, and that's how I became a paladin.
Interesting. And does anybody remember if they have any siblings? You could roll for this if you would like.
Otter
Which would
even.
be a single D10 roll.
Oh,
Single
well,
D10? No.
I mean, I rolled under 10. Does that count?
Yes, but that I would roll it as a single D10 if I were you. For anyone watching in the audience, I am using Xanathar's Guide to Everything to determine their origins.
I got a 1.
A 5 and a 1.
Okay, Eclipse, you have 5 siblings.
Fantastic.
And Abel, you, sir, are an only child.
That could make sense given Dad's.
Proclivity, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Heathcliff?
7.
You rolled a D8.
Sorry.
I have word of my story about my parents if it ever becomes
10.
Take a guess. I wonder.
DM. I have more to the story of my parents if it becomes relevant.
And it may become relevant. This is all your memories slowly coming back as you guys gather around the table and you're talking to Irina and Ez. Heathcliff, you have 8 siblings.
Not gonna lie, when I said I was gonna expect 10 siblings.
Why is this sounding more and more like Druzzle for our Sunday night campaign? The other one.
You do like having big families, my friend.
Apparently.
As you sit here and ponder over your families, and it's up to you whether you volunteer the next part, but I need a percentile from each of you. Heathcliff, your family was actually, your extended family was all adopted family. Now, whether or not they were drow or not is entirely up to you. But you found yourself surrounded by a fair amount of either foster kids or probably street rats, considering your dad was a member of the Thieves Guild.
Okay.
Which means your siblings may or may not become relevant at your discretion at that point. Abel, I actually guess I didn't technically need you to roll this because your family was the church, the temple that you were raised in to be a paladin. And Eclipse, somewhere along the way, your dad took off. Your family, you were raised by a single mom.
Aw. Poor mom. Well, I guess our good mom, because, in an Innistrad, you never know what that ends up being.
Well, we can find out. Roll me a d4. Your father was imprisoned, enslaved, or otherwise taken away.
Yep, that fits.
So, given what we just rolled, is there anything you guys want to share with Irina and Ez about your origins, your families?
No, I think I'm good.
Just a quick clarification point, because I seemed to have missed it. What was Abel's 13 with his family and children?
So that's why I said his 13 was irrelevant. He was actually raised more or less by the church, the order that he was left with.
Right.
No, I don't think there's anything pertinent I need to bring up.
Heathcliff, what about you? Will you share about your family?
There's nothing pertinent currently.
And remember, it's not just sharing with Irina and Ez, it's sharing with each other. Like, this is a roleplay moment.
Like, the only thing I can think of bringing up is the fact that I was raised by a single mother.
Do you bring that up and share that with the group?
Yeah, why not?
Irina, as she's finishing wrapping your bandages, says, "It was wonderful to know my father, but I wished I'd have had your upbringing. My mother is missed, and my father these days is barely more than a dark memory."
I just hope my mother got enough money for me when she sold me to the church.
That is big. Okay. So, as you're doing this, Ez passes out the mugs. She is suspiciously quiet about her family. And she sort of turns back to Eclipse and says, "Well, I'm glad you made it into the shadows and into the mist with us to help us in this house as we settle its restless spirits. Could you tell us more of the events that led to your current injuries?"
No,
once you arrived here.
because there were many. Let's see here. Not. Wait 1 second. There we go. So after we ran into you guys, we went to go explore the house. Actually, see if I can do this off memory. I remember that I had found a harp. Turns out it was cursed. Shouldn't have played it. Hurt my fingers quite a bit. Let's see. I know that there was a statue that Abel found.
I broke it.
Yeah, he very much broke it. But it ended up being hollow. And there was, if I remember correctly, a suit of armor in there.
The spirit, a suit of armored spirit sort of launched out of it.
Yes. We found a greenhouse where the plants were grabby and the knives were stabby.
The plants were grabby and the knives were stabby. I like that.
And that's where I took most of my damage from the plants. Let's see. There was another hexagon room that I overheard that Heathcliff and Abel went into, and what I could hear, they heard the spirit of the armor in that room, and chose that they gave them a choice to either be entombed or to forsake their commander.
S kind of slams her mug down and says, "Be entombed or forsake their commander. I believe you were given the option to choose whether you would stand with Mara or not." And she goes and grabs a book from one of the bags and begins flipping through the pages of a book.
We had, from what I heard, they chose to forsake, and from the looks of it, they got hurt for doing so. And then we came back here.
As Az continues to flip through the pages, Irina sets some rations out on the table to share with the group. Heathcliff sent me a message. Oh. Is that for what I was doing in the stream, Heathcliff?
Yep.
Yeah, I figured. I was trying to test multiple methods for trying to move it around, because as he was describing locations, I don't know if you saw, but I was specifically moving the map to the locations he was describing.
I did notice, and I also noticed that you were using the arrows in the bottom of the screen, which is okay. That does move the map around, but I wanted to give you a easier option with the, if you middle mouse click and hold, it'll drag based on where your cursor is. That's
nice.
a little faster.
For the audience, it's still a learning opportunity for me. I'm new to the software, but it is what it is. Irina sets the food out on the table, and as you guys begin to partake, the room is fairly quiet. Everybody starts to munch when you hear a thud, thud, thud. Just this heavy knocking sound, which is coming from the front door. Ez sort of startles as she looks up from the books.
Sounds like company.
Should we see who's at the door, possibly?
Ez is kind of like taken aback, and she goes, "Well, I would like to know who it is, but after the story you've just told, I'm not particularly a fan of anyone going towards that door alone. So shall we move as a group, or shall a few of you go?" Irina just sort of scoffs as she sets down her food. She says, "I'll get the door."
I'll go with
Make sure to leave. Sorry, Eclipse.
You're good.
I was gonna say, make sure to leave the adjoining door open so we can see what's going on.
Well, it's a hallway. Oh, it's a straight down look. Hey, how about that? Why is that invisible? Show NPC. And Eclipse, you said you went with her?
Yes.
How about that? You open the door, standing on the porch, appearing to be soaked from head to toe, is a tall, scrawny figure in gray robes with a large gray hat. And he removes the hat from his head. Oh, and he's carrying a walking stick, but as you look at this walking stick that is leather wrapped, you see that it has tines pointed down, and you realize very quickly that this stick is absolutely a trident that this old man is using as a walking stick. And he takes his hat off of his head, and he brushes it back through his hair to sort of wash his white hair out of his face, the hair that runs long to his shoulders. You see that this pale-skinned elf is standing on the porch and says, "Forgive me, I saw a light through the window. And after wandering so long along the road, I simply need a place of respite to catch my breath from the rain before I continue. Care to take in a guest for only a moment? Please. I am so weary." And he is just this weather-worn old man. Like, he looks old even for an elf. And Irina slowly sort of looks at you, Eclipse, as though wondering what you want to say, because she doesn't know how to react. But you can see her, like, her body language has shifted so that she's, like, wanting to invite him in, because, again, she is a member of the church. She's a sort of a nun, taking care of somebody. That's kind of her shtick. But at the same time, she seems sort of nervous about letting the dude into a haunted house.
Is there any skill for like insight? Or there isn't.
Yep.
Can I go ahead and roll that?
You can.
I use my divine sense.
Just randomly?
Well, specifically to see if he's good, evil, what's going on with him.
Let me check your divine sense, but I do not think it's that simple.
Oh.
And you got a 20 on your insight.
Yes.
Okay. Let me read your divine sense. Presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type, whose presence you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hollow spell. You can use this feature a number of times equal to 1 plus your charisma modifier. Yeah. So opening your senses in here, you are once again overwhelmed with this horrible stench of undead. And I'm not even sure he's within 60 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. He's right on the edge of your senses anyways. But it's to a point that you can't really differentiate him from the background.
Okay.
But there's like an overwhelming smell of sort of undeath around you. Eclipse, he seems on the level. He just seems like a road-weary traveler that wants to come in out of the rain. And you guys notice it's not like everything's damp outside, but the rainstorm that had started at the beginning of the day when you first arrived here has come to a complete stop, at least around the house.
Okay. I will tell her that I have no qualms with him resting here for a bit.
Irina sort of nods and steps aside to let the man enter. What is this dreary home you find yourselves in? And he sort of looks around and says, not to be offensive, of course. People can keep their homes how they wish. But this place does not look as though it has been lived in some time. Irina lets out a chuckle.
Not by anything living.
You say as they are approaching?
Yes.
I assume you're following Eclipse?
Yes.
He steps into the parlor and just sort of tucks himself up against the wall. Actually, he makes his way all the way across the room to the hearth. So I will adjust our map momentarily. And says, does anyone mind if I should strike a fire?
Go right ahead.
Ez and Irina give each other a sideways glance, but say nothing. He points the tip of his trident into the mouth of the chimney, and smoke begins to billow from the trident. And you see just this small spark of energy crackle down the shaft, and a fire begin to form. And he begins to lean over it and sort of warm himself.
Fascinating.
He sort of looks over his shoulder and says, oh?
Your trident just catches my curiosity.
It does for many, my friend. 1,000-year-old artifacts are rare, even in places such as this. And he sort of looks around the house as though the house itself may be a 1,000-year artifact. He says, tell me, friends, what brings you to this place? Irina and Ez sort of look at each other, and Ez finally chimes in. Says, well, you've wandered into the most haunted house of the realms. And as she says that, the man just sort of stops and says, I've what now? Ez looks up and says, oh, indeed. And she's very nonchalant. It's almost as though she's trying to scare the man into leaving. She's like, oh, indeed. Our friends here just earlier this evening were injured by all manner of spook and specter upon this place. And she gestures at you with your bloody wraps on your hands. Eclipse. And like, the guy's face is very sullen, like his eyes go wide.
Yes, it was very true.
Go. I may have decided to take respite in just the wrong place. How interesting that you would find yourselves here. Irina says, yes, well, we go where the work is. It is our intent to put to rest the spirits of this place, of Halvhrest House. And he looks up and says, Halvhrest, not Theodora. Ez, who's flipping through her book, slaps it closed and says, how do you know the name? He turns to the fire, and over his shoulder you hear him say, I knew the Halvhrests when they first came to build their home on the remains of the Black Castle. Was that tower I saw still standing? As sort of acquiesces just a little bit and kind of quietly says, well, yeah, that's the only thing left of the old place. The man, whose clothes are already beginning to dry as he's standing next to this fire, turns and has his back to it to keep him warm, and he says, I think perhaps you may all be in far more danger than you thought. It is said that the Black Castle, the walls of the Black Castle, were filled with hundreds, if not thousands, of knights who stood against the warlord who owned it. The warlord who had stolen it from its previous master. One night, when that master had fought her way back here, and her men had retreated even from her out of fear that they could not take it, the Dark Warlord entombed her soldiers within its walls, and had intended to entomb her. In her madness, she struck him in battle, and then entombed her traitorous soldiers that had decided to flee and not help her with that battle. In a single night, there was so much death said to have been in that place. As he says this, the fire sort of flickers itself down and the room grows cold. Candles that were set on the table all flicker as though they're about to go out. And after just a moment, they all come back up. Reactions to anything that was just said?
For me, especially with my background, it's pretty much par for the course for anything that nature. I am intrigued about the Black Castle, though.
Agreed. Very curious.
I would say something along the effects of when he mentioned that we're in more danger than we previously thought, that danger is danger, the amount is inconsequential.
He says, well, I would suggest, if I were you, and he sort of spins the staff in his hand, the trident tip just kind of boring scratches into the stone floor. He says, I do not think I will be staying, and if I were you, I would suggest the same. The dangers here are far too great. For all we know, your deaths will be included among the many of Halvhrest House, and though I appreciate the respite, he says, waving his hands across his robes, and doing so, a sparkly sort of golden light comes out of them, and the clothes just puff up. And as the clothes puff up, you see heat from the fire just sort of flicker away from it towards his clothing, and they are all but instantly dried. He says, I think perhaps at best I continue on my way, though I do appreciate the chance of respite you have offered me here. And he makes his way around the table. And he looks back and says, if anyone would like to come with me, I could certainly use more guests on the road, more company on the road. Irina and Ez seem like, no, we're staying here. We've got work to do. So both of them are completely quiet as they look to your party.
Had we not offered help to them, and I gesture, your requests for assistance would have more weight to it, but as we have already pledged to help them, we must see it through first.
That is Abel's response. Eclipse.
I concur with Abel, but I am also extremely interested in the mystery of this house. So I also have personal motivation to stay here.
You're also finding yourself... can you go ahead and roll a history check for me, Eclipse?
Yeah.
While he's rolling his history check, Heathcliff, what's your reaction?
I would be nodding with
I rolled the wrong one. Sorry.
with Vic and agreeing with Eclipse that yeah, we said that we would stay here and help, but at the same time I'm really curious as to how things would play out if we traveled on the road.
May we entreat you in staying a little longer so that we may conclude our business here, then join you after.
He says to you, I do not believe your business here will take simply an evening. And I fear staying here even a single evening. And when he says I fear, like, you see it in his face. The man looks genuinely afraid of this place. He says, if not for the ghosts of the Halvhrest family that were built upon the bones of this old keep, there are the ghosts of those that came before. If not just the warlord, but also the Crimson Warrior who had fought to defeat him and then entombed her own soldiers. There's darkness in this place, and I could not tempt myself to stay. However, should you find yourselves on the roads again after you have completed this place, I should hope we can meet again.
Of that, I agree.
What is your name, stranger?
He just sort of glances at you as he's putting his hat on to walk out of the room and says, well, most of my friends simply call me G, or Old Wizard. I know it seems sort of contrite to go by such a simple title, but names, true names, are a dangerous gift to give. Should you seek to find me, listen for the sounds of the calliope, which a calliope is a type of music. Mm-hmm. Listen for the sounds of the calliope. Follow it past the market and past the tents. And if you make it past them, ask for a man called Gegas.
Gegas?
And perhaps Gegas. And perhaps then we can meet again.
Well, until such a day, fare thee well.
He nods, tips his hat to everyone, and then makes his way out the door.
I'm not at my computer. Can somebody please write that name down for me?
It will be added to the notes, I'm sure. For
you.
the record, it's Gegas.
I'm dealing with some health issues. Taking notes is kind of hard right now.
Fair enough. Alright. So, the man wanders off, leaving you all around the table with your half-eaten rations and your copper mugs. The fire still burns where he left it. Ez turns to the group and goes, well, that was not at all mysterious. No responses.
I
feel that in where the mists have carried us, more mysteries will be revealed as opposed to answers.
Fair. And Eclipse, with your history check, it was an attempt to see if you remember something, and all you realize is you're not remembering something. There's something on the tip of your tongue you feel like you need to remember, but you're not sure what it is. Something was very deja vu-y, perhaps, or it's just that you know you've forgotten something feeling. As says, well, in light of that, perhaps we should all finish our meals and begin with the evening plan. And as she says this, she sets a spirit board out across the table.
Oh, yes, you mentioned something of a seance before.
I did. Go ahead, Eclipse.
No, I was like, I'm just examining the Ouija board, spirit board, whatever we want to call it.
I'm going to share it right now.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Ouija board.
Spirit board.
I want
Ouija
that.
is a brand.
I want that spirit board.
Fair enough.
Real life.
And for the record, the planchet is on the board.
Oh, okay.
The planchet you found, I've added to the map already.
That's a map.
Well, you know what I mean. Yes, it's a map. You can delete the record I'm about to share with you, but it's a close-up of the planchet. Currently circling the word yes in that picture. Is everyone ready for a seance to begin?
I believe so.
Not mechanically speaking, but I say a prayer of protection over all of us.
Do you still have your divine sense open?
Yes. No, actually, no. Once I was overwhelmed and realized that the old man was indistinguishable from the rest of the house, I would have dropped it as not to be continually overwhelmed.
Okay. So the table is lit with candles. This board has been set out upon it, and a planchet has been laid upon. Close. I apparently can't close the records. There we go. And there we go. And a planchet's been set out on the table. Az leans over, places her hands upon the, or places her right hand upon the planchet, and asks that everyone does the same. Irina is sort of hesitant, but she reaches out. What about you guys?
I reach out.
Yeah, I follow suit.
Yep.
Spirits of the house, Ez says, we are strangers who come openly and without malice. We seek only to know your stories and to help you find peace. We entreat you. Make your presence known. A moment of silence passes. 2 moments. 3. The candles flicker as though a wind is blown in, and you all sort of startle for a moment before realizing the door to the room is still open. And the man, as he left the front door open. A single brush of wind must have come through it to cause the candles flicker. Anything from you
I'll
guys?
bubble under my breath. That's not ominous at all.
I would go close the front door.
I would.
As you stand up to close the door, you feel the planchet move from your move as though it's trying to pull away from your fingers. Do you look back at it before walking away?
Yes.
Okay. The planchet begins to move, and as it does, it drifts slowly down to the word greetings. Irina reads it out loud, and as she finishes the word greetings, the doors to the room you're in slam shut. Ka-chunk!
Nope, I guess someone's answering.
Irina says, indeed, to whom are we speaking? The planchet begins to move. Still slowly.
Can you reshare the spirit board? I accidentally closed it.
I can. Hold on. Seances, running seance. It's actually a pain in the butt because now I gotta find it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it then. It's not important.
You sure?
I wanted to get a better look at it, but when I was moving the planchette, I accidentally clicked the X for the board.
Give me a minute, and I can pull it back up for you. It's totally fine.
All right, like I said, it's not important. I just wanted to get a better look at it.
Hmm. Share record, which of course
you.
zoomed it out on the other one. So now I gotta readjust it. Zoom to fit. Zoom a little closer. Close this, reopen my reference manual, go to the seances, first seance. Okay.
That's kind of pretty.
The planchette settles on the number 2. When it reshared, I now have 2 tokens on the board. Delete 1. Confirm delete. Settles on the number 2. And then it moves slowly. The letter M. It seems to be taking an age. Before stopping on the letter E. To me. It yanks sharply back to the number 2. I'm sorry, yanks sharply to the word no. Yanks sharply to the letters T. The letter O. Sharp. Each movement jerky. The letter M. The letter E. So it was the number 2, me. The word no, or the words T-O-M-E. And then it sort of spirals as it swirls itself back across the board, taking on a third sort of series of movements, and it says no. Goes back to center. Drops again to T, O. Spirals itself up to center, and then back down to the letter U, the letter S. And then pulls itself back to center in a spiral. Irina says there seems to be more than one.
From the looks of it, definitely.
Is there someone anyone would like to attempt to talk to?
I would like to see if we can talk to the children we found the birth certificates for.
Does anybody else say anything?
No, I'm good.
Heathcliff?
I'm good.
It spirals and drops to the T. Spirals itself upwards to the H. Spirals E. Spirals Y. Irina says they. It continues to spiral. A. Spiral R. Spiral E. The word R. Spirals again, filling out letters until it fills M. I. N. E.
Hmm. If I had to guess, right now we are talking to one of the parents.
It spirals and stops on the word yes.
Okay, then. Anyone else have anyone they want to try and contact or talk to?
Or if they do they want to ask this parent anything?
Yeah.
We know the woman's name, the mother's name was Theodora.
I ask, are we speaking to Theodora?
Spirals to center and then spirals back to the word yes.
So we have the mother on the line.
When you say we have the mother on the line, you hear, or it spirals again. A, N, D, to center, and then yanks fastly, as hard as it can. M, E, back to center.
Would the second individual be the father? No. Fascinating.
Girk was told to ask for someone specific.
I was.
Last session, the spirit said, "Ask for me." The skeleton-clad knight, the skull
That's
armor-clad
right. I
knight.
don't remember who it was though.
Well, you said you wanted to know his name, and as you wandered north into the ballroom told you to pick the woman who you now know to be this Crimson Warlord, or I'm sorry, stand with me and forsake the woman, or stand with her and face Dranzorg's justice.
Is this Stranzor we speak to?
It yanks sharply. T H I S center. I S center. G A R L A N D. Irina asks Garland.
Okay.
It drifts very, very slowly. A N D center. I center. A M center. M A R A center. Ez looks up and says, Mara is the name of the Crimson Knight. The one that at least 2 members of this party have rejected. Ez says it seems we have our pick of spirits to talk to, but I cannot imagine we will keep this connection with them for long. Is there one in particular I would suggest that the group would wish to speak with?
I would vote for Garland. Or no, not Garland. The one I was meant to ask, or told to ask for.
When you asked for Dranzorg, he said, "This is Garland." So you don't have a Dranzorg. You have Garland, Mara, and Theodora.
I'm interested in talking to Mara.
Heathcliff, do you have an opinion?
I do not.
I will go with Mara as to give us a consensus.
Slowly it drifts. W. H. Slowly. Y. Center. M. Slowly. E. Center. Y. O. U. Center. A. B. A. N. D. O. N. E. D. Center. M. E. Center. As it spells out, "You abandon me," the lights in the room, the candles, flicker out completely. The fire is still lit, but the candles are gone.
Since I technically wasn't in the room, I said I would be the only one that technically had in the banner. Correct?
Yep.
I'll go ahead and ask. It's like, I have no recollection of abandoning you.
If that's where you stop, after a moment it begins to move and says T H E Y D I D.
You know, I look to both of them. It's like, was this involving the choice you guys had that I overheard earlier?
It seems to be.
You ask them as the planchet slowly moves to the word yes.
Well, would you at least be willing to talk to me?
It moves away and back to the word yes.
I thank you. Let's see. So, I guess I'll just come out with the most basic question. You know why? What happened to the house? Why is it haunted as the way it is?
It doesn't move. After a long moment, you realize it's almost though You still feel something in the room, but it's almost as though she doesn't really have an answer to that question.
Do you know of the knight, or the being that they came in contact with that gave them the choice?
D-O-N-T Center. T-R-U-S-T Center. D-A-L-K Center.
Dog.
When you read that last name, Dalk, Ez looks up and says, when I was reading in the book earlier, I think Dalk is the name of the warlord.
Okay, so there was the evil warlord, and then Mara, from the sounds of it, are rivals of some sort.
It drifts to the word yes.
I'll
And then
go ahead.
slowly moves to S. E. Pulls away. E. K. Center. T. H. E. Center. W. I. T. C. H. Center.
The witch.
E. V. I. C. T. Center. It then slowly moves to the skulls at the top of the board.
So, from the sounds of it, we need to find a witch and evict her. Or him. You never know. So, I'll go ahead and ask Gherkin and Heathcliff, why did you abandon her again for a Dark Knight?
Because the other option was death.
That's fair. Death does not tend to be very healthy for one's being. And I'm wondering what the skulls at the top of this Ouija board mean.
There's also a heart up there.
Yeah. Maybe by evict they mean to kill the witch. I'm fairly certain that this witch won't listen to eviction papers.
No, probably not. We can always try to talk them out, however.
That's also fair.
The board slings itself off the table. The planchet slings to the side with it.
I do believe that they're done.
So you've got to figure out what this witch is.
So, well, we have more floors that we didn't explore. So she might be up on one of them.
You do find the other two, Irina and Ez, get up from the table, and they just sort of like walk over to the corner by the fireplace and begin talking amongst themselves while you guys are talking amongst yourselves.
So I ask Heathcliff Abel if they know anything more about this Mara outside of what they heard from the night.
I didn't even know that her name was Mara. He really only said forsake her or die.
His exact words were, "I will give you a simple choice, my misguided knights. You can join Lady Silvra, and I'll entomb you all within my fortress walls, or forsake your commander, bear witness to her execution, and then walk free to tell all of Dranzork's justice. My mercy knows but a moment. Choose."
That one.
Okay. Oh, I need to find. I want to find out more about this Mara.
I would like to know more about her as well.
Did we come across any books that possibly mentioned her?
There's piles of books in this room that you're in, but you guys haven't actually gone through a single one of them.
Oh, well, that might not be the worst idea. Can I browse the titles to see if there's any mention of her?
I'd like to help.
Investigation checks. An investigation check with advantage, since Heathcliff is going to help you.
So I click advantage and then grab investigation. There you are.
You don't seem to find anything that immediately stands out. No. Though you do find that the one on the history of the area that suggests that the name of the Black Castle was once Castle Laventz. Laventz.
Okay.
One more time.
Castle Laventz. Laventz.
Thanks.
Okay, so while you guys are doing this, you two are going through books. Abel, you're kind of just standing around the room because you haven't said you're doing anything yet. And the kettle pot that is in the that's sort of like there's basically a spit almost on the hearth of this room. You guys have noticed these at every fireplace in the house, so that if people want to heat up food or a beverage or whatever, they can just set it on this plate sort of thing in the fire. You hear like a tink tink ka-chunk sound from it. Do you look? Are you there, Abel? It says you're talking, but I'm not getting any sound from you, Girk.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, do you look at the plate?
Yes.
Sitting upon it is a cupcake with pink frosting and the letter A.
Does it have a candle?
No. But this is the second time something's tried to feed you.
A sweet. nonetheless.
A sweet, no less. Yes.
I'll flat out ask, is it safe?
Nothing happens. But everyone in the room, well, the two women turn and look at you and this sweet. I assume Heathcliff and Eclipse do as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so everybody just turns and looks at you as you're looking at the fireplace and say, is that safe? It looks safe.
Great. I take a bite.
You guys see him reach down and grab a cupcake, a sweet, and he sort of looks at it for a second. Okay, takes a bite. This is a delicious sweet. It's absolutely delicious. One of the best dessert cakes you've ever had.
Are we just not gonna question he ate a cupcake that popped out of nowhere?
For all I know, it was there the whole time.
Do I need to roll a new character?
No. No, it's a delicious little cupcake.
I relay that fact through sound, not through words, but through sounds of enjoyment.
You guys hear him not straight up nomming down.
Just for future reference, I do have the ability to detect poison and disease and magic, so might want to do that first before biting into our random food out of nowhere.
Irina chimes in and says, it's almost like that cupcake we're summoned. She says to you, is it real food? Which, to you it seems absolutely real. It's delicious cupcake. Do you answer her question?
I say it seems so.
She says, I do not know many specters that can simply manifest food. It's almost as though it were summoned by magic. And she looks at the overturned spirit board.
Anyways, I will go back to the book and hope he doesn't, just keel over and die from a cupcake.
Okay. You guys spend your little bit of time going through the books. He eats his cupcake, enjoys it just fine. It's totally delicious. And as everybody's finishing up what they're doing, Ez turns and says, perhaps it is time we turn in for the evening. After all,
I could use a good rest.
After all, there may be more days of this danger ahead of us. Irina walks over to the table, pulls out a small pouch. Let me get other stuff out of my way. Pulls out a small pouch, sets it on the table, looks inside, and there's a jingling sound when she plops it on the table, looks inside. Says, that's your first advance.
Oh, well, thank you.
Does somebody walk up and grab the bag?
I'll walk up and grab it.
Yeah. Eclipse, you walk up and grab the bag. There's 60 gold in there, meant to be split 20 apiece.
I'll go ahead and split it 20 apiece.
If you guys want to add that to your character sheets. Do I need to add yours for you, Abel?
Please.
Everybody else got theirs?
Man, it won't let me type it. Right out there.
You should just be able to click on the number and type it in.
That's what I'm trying to do, but every time I try to click it, it doubles it. No,
So how much gold should yours have been to start
10.
before that got added? 10? Okay. Yours is now correct.
Thank you.
Do I need to add yours as well, Heathcliff?
Nope. Nope, mine worked just fine.
Why is yours still only reading 10 then?
Well, I don't know. On my side, it reads 30.
Weird, I had to scroll up and down on it. Like, I changed tabs and everything, and it stayed only reading 10. But when I scrolled up so that it was no longer visible on the screen and scrolled down, it refreshed. That's weird. Come on, Fantasy Grounds.
That's great.
Okay. Ez turns to the party and says, "There's room enough in the wagon for one of you. Irina will be sleeping out there." Irina goes to argue, and Ez merely glares at her, and she says nothing. "So there's room for one of you to share in the wagon. However, the rest of us will have to stay within the house. I suggest us staying within this room."
Sounds like a plan.
I have no qualms either way.
I would like to sleep up here in this corner.
The farthest away from doors.
I'm gonna sleep by the fireplace.
Eclipse, will you be sleeping inside or joining Irina in the wagon?
I guess I'll join Irina. It's not safe to have someone by themselves anywhere, honestly.
Okay. You
Wait,
guys make it.
It's as an Eclipse in the trailer, right?
It's Irina and Eclipse in the trailer. In the wagon. The wagon is a wooden wagon, like a barrel wagon, and the cover of the covered top wagon is purple. Like neon purple.
Okay.
When you get outside, Eclipse, Irina takes the time to fill some feed bags and place them upon the horses, but she leaves them strapped up to the wagon. She looks at you and says, "Worry not, they'll be fine." And she just climbs up inside.
It's like there's not really much else place we can put them, so
I mean, tie them up to posts on the house, on the porch or something.
yeah.
Okay. To the good and wonderful folks in my stream, we are going to take a moment because my players are going to get their night of long rest as well as get their first level.
Huzzah.
Which is wonderful for everyone involved. We all like a good level. Tiger Paladin, I like that. You've said some wonderful things in chat. Including, I sort of love this book suggestion, Roasted Rosemary Tabaxi and Other Useful Recipes for Repurposing Intruders. When this video gets posted to YouTube, you guys are missing out on the wonderful comments in the chat section, so please feel free to join us on Twitch at any particular point. Anybody that's enjoying the stream, please feel free to click that follow button and check out my Petri dish. There's loads of links in there. In the meantime, I'm going to switch us to Be Right Back real quick, so please feel free to take bathroom breaks, drink some water. Because my guys have to level up, this particular break might take a little bit longer than the prescribed 10 minutes that I would usually do. So, you know, catch your breath. It might be 15. I don't expect it to be more than that.
Me and Tiger
And-
Paladin are going to have some words about this cooking of tabaxis.
Watch out for him. Tiger Paladin already knows more about this story than you guys do. To that end, everybody enjoy your break, and we will be right back. All right, we are back. I want to thank everybody for sticking around. Any new new viewers that just showed up. We just finished our long rest. A full night has occurred for our characters as they slept in this haunted house. Good on them. We also, let me see, we acquired our leveled up. Yeah. So it's time to start our second day of nonsense. Oh, hey, Mercy showed up. Hi, buddy. For those that don't know, you guys need to check out Mercy every other Saturday night. They have a stream of D&D as well. It's pretty fantastic. All right, getting back to the game at hand. 2 of our characters slept inside with Ez. 1 of our characters slept outside in the wagon, covered wagon, with Irina. For the character that slept outside, Eclipse, I need you to make a Constitution save.
That bodes well. Let's see. There you are. APD. Not so well.
Eclipse, I'm adding it to your character sheet now, but you currently have the effect Exhausted.
Let's just pile that on. Hurt fingers, hurt by plants, exhausted. I'm just doing so well.
But you are back at full health, so that's nice.
There's a plus.
I'm curious if this will stay affected. I don't know if that'll trigger correctly, if I need to put brackets or something on it. Can you go ahead and make me a skill check, any skill check, so that I can test it in the chat? Drop Insight. Yeah, drop Insight, actually. Nope, it did not auto-apply. Maybe I need to type exhaustion for the effect.
Come on, system, work for me. Don't apply it.
Go ahead.
In tools under effects, you should be able to. I'm not seeing exhausted. Only encumbered.
Try to roll something for me again real quick, Eclipse. Nope, it's still not rolling. Okay. I'm going to need you, whenever I ask for a skill check, try to remember. If I don't remember, that's on me, obviously, so you might be able to get away from it. But I need you to roll it with disadvantage.
Okay.
You feel like you slept great, but somehow you just woke up still so tired. Also, your shoulder is sore. Roll me an insight check with disadvantage, please.
Dang it, you remember it. No, Okay, I'll take it.
Irina is looking exceptionally guilty this morning. You're not sure why, but you feel like she has something to do with why you're exhausted.
Okay, I'll come out. Just say it. I'm feeling a bit off. Do you happen to know why?
She looks up and says, "My apologies, friend. It seems in the night And I really do apologize. And as she's saying she's sorry, your insight's high enough. You know that she is legit apologetic. Like, you see she's holding, like, her rosary in her hands. Like, she looks like she's been up for a while praying when you wake up. She says, I'm afraid I might have gotten hungry in the night.
Oh. You could have just asked.
You see, the hunger isn't something I can always control, or I would have. I do believe it is possible that is why, as suggested, one of you or your compatriots stay out here. I do apologize. Please forgive me. It was never my intention.
So am I going to be just tired? Is that...
You are going to feel a little bit drained today, I'm sure. I simply ask that you be careful as we go about as we continue about our exploration of the house. And to be honest, I offer my services as a guide to travel with you and your group throughout the house, to protect you, as it is my fault you are feeling so weak.
I can understand, and I will accept the help, gladly.
Okay. Moving back into the house, Abel's character. Let's delete this token. He's probably sitting over like, why did you delete my token?
You don't exist anymore. The house at you.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Somewhere here. There it is. I determined this at random. Girk, in the night you have terrible dreams. You see yourself marching alongside just groups of soldiers that are being forced to quick march. And you know in the dream that you guys have been doing this for days, weeks, barely any sleep. You feel exhausted. You see at the head of the column a desperate knight in crimson armor, a knight who you now know is Mara, forcing these tired soldiers to march on and punishing any that fall behind, lashing them if they fall behind. In the distance up a hill, you see this ominous black Castle Levents, which you know to be Castle Levents. Mara even talks in your dream about retaking her father's castle. And she does say it that way in the dream, you know, we must hurry on to retake the castle that was stolen from my father. In the one hand, you see her whip lashing her soldiers, but in the other, you see her brandishing this crimson longsword, and any that stand against her, she strikes them down with this crimson longsword. You watch as the blood of the enemies, or of the people that she defeats, just bathes this sword over and over and over, dyeing it more and more red with each strike. I get to roll now because your character wakes up
Always a good sign.
in a coffin.
Not so much.
Even better sign.
You are certain it's a coffin? What is this? Area
I think I would have
27.
preferred being bitten by a vampire than sleeping in a coffin.
Like, you are surrounded by wood all the way around, but you're certain you're in like a wooden coffin.
Oh, that's no bueno. I try and break it open to get out.
As you're pounding on the walls around you, the wooden walls, you realize that they don't easily break, but the head above you, directly above your head, seems like it might be movable. Give me an athletics check to crack it open.
You got this.
$14.
You're not able to crack it, but you feel it move, and when it shoves forward, you realize it's in like a slot to move. Are you like as though there was never a lid to this thing, as though it's literally the head above you that can open? And I say above you, but you're laying on your back flat, so above your head, horizontally. And you feel it shift, but not actually open. I need to know, are you making any noise while doing this? Do you like scream, or are you just like, what the, and then just start like trying to pound your way out?
What the? Try and pound my way out, trying to break it.
Okay.
So they'd hear the pounding and
If they were close enough.
yeah.
Which I am going to address. Meow. Heathcliff. Perception check. You are 100% aware. Like, you wake up, you look around. Ezra is like, wait a minute, where did your friend go? You see he's not there. Perception check to see if you hear this pounding from...
I need to point out that you said right meow and then addressed not the cat.
Heathcliff, you do not.
Can I do a perception check?
When you walk in, you're unable to hear anything.
Oh.
What is that?
Just want to point out that perception is my top skill.
You do walk in and immediately notice he's gone.
I'll take
So, have that roleplay moment, guys.
So I'm noticing a one companion less. Do we know why?
I woke up and he was gone.
Az looks up and says, agreed, he must have disappeared sometime in the night. With the dangers of this house, you guys will need to find him sooner rather than later.
Okay. Well, let's see here.
Looking at the main map of the house, you know that there are stairs to the basement in the kitchen. And there are stairs upstairs in the foyer. And what's everybody's passive insight? Well, I'm sorry, what are Heathcliff and Eclipse's passive insights?
That's 10 plus insight, right?
Yep.
14.
13.
Right now, your passive insight is reduced by 5, Eclipse, because you have disadvantage.
Yeah.
So 9.
9.
So that leaves Heathcliff. You said yours was a what?
13.
13. Yeah, I'll give it to you. You sort of remember that yesterday our boy ate a cupcake. And it was the second time the house had tried to offer him food. The previous time was in the kitchen.
That's what I was thinking. I think we should go to the kitchen.
Agreed. Let's go to the kitchen.
It's breakfast anyway. I'm hungry.
Okay. Move your tokens to the kitchen, please.
You have to go to the coffin storing room. I hear there's a really cool guy there.
And I'm going to
The
open the
coffin
oven.
storing room. You open the oven, and the moment you do, it lights up. The hearth just immediately, poof, fire lit. And I'm going to roll a percentile real quick.
Let's hope he's not in there.
Well, the hearth lit up, not the oven.
There is a loaf of bread in the oven. Gorgeous. It's already cooked. It's done.
I'm not taking it.
See, yeah. as we're missing our friend who just happened to eat a strange pastry, I think we should avoid strange pastries.
Do you just leave it in the oven?
I think we're just gonna leave it in the oven.
Is bread technically a pastry?
It is a baked good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
but-
is that different than a pastry?
Depends on what the definition of a pastry is. I know it's a baked good, but it depends on if it states that it includes sugar or not.
If I remember right, a pastry just implies it's a dough of some kind. So it's like flour, a fat of some kind, and water. So bread would be involved.
Wow. If you didn't already have an inspiration point, Eclipse, I'm offering you one.
I do.
Abel doesn't
Wow.
currently. You can throw one at him.
I will throw it at him. Yeah.
Somewhere in the
Like
ether.
there, yay, certificate
Abel.
to culinary arts.
Abel, please feel free to make me another athletics check to try and get that lid open.
All right, 1 second. I was looking up the actual definition of pastry.
Was I close?
A dough of flour, shortening, and water used as a base and covering in baked dishes such as pies.
Shortening is a fat, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
You said athletics?
Yes.
No.
I need everyone. Well, not everyone. I need the other two players to make perception checks. Now, you know, we'll use your passives, but your passives have advantage, or in your case, Eclipse, it's just neutral. So, Eclipse, what's your current perception? Passive perception.
16.
16. Heathcliff, yours gets a +5 because you have advantage.
20.
20. You guys do hear like a thudding noise coming from the basement. A sort of pounding.
Well, I'm gonna go to the basement then.
Yeah, I say that's a good idea.
Like I said, the coffin storing room.
I would tell Eclipse that I hear noises coming from downstairs and then go downstairs. There we go. Much better.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's the stairs.
It is. I am making a quick adjustment to the map, and we will be good to go. Oops, no, that should have just masked it all. Why did it unmask it? Delete mask. So if I go layers, enter mask mode, player view. Huh. Apparently in player view, you can see one of the things. Like I just can't hide it. That's weird. Delete mask, delete mask. Yeah. There's like this whole like side map thing that is just gonna always be visible to you guys. That's weird.
Is it supposed to have popped up already?
No, there it goes.
Okay.
I wasn't sharing it yet because I wanted to make sure the map was blocked off like it's supposed to be before I did. So turn off player view real quick. Clear that room. Player view, nope. Why? Okay, let's just share this record and see what it pops up as. Yep, it popped up black.
With some shapes there.
It's like a wall.
Yeah, a wall, a triangle, and a boat.
It does kind of look like an old sailboat, doesn't it?
with a fallen sail.
Or it looks like Pyramid Head.
I was thinking that too, honestly. it looks dingy enough. It could be Pyramid Head, or technically, as his official name is, it's Red Pyramid Thing. They weren't very inventive. Pyramid Head's a
Huh.
band name.
I also just made it all visible, and it still isn't going visible. Okay, so we're gonna disable line of sight,
Well,
disable lighting,
That works.
now we can see the whole thing.
toggle token lock. Yep. Suspension of disbelief. You guys see nothing.
I am zoomed in so I can just see the room, and now I don't see a room.
We
And
saw
now
something.
Boom.
Now there it goes.
That took a lot of work.
Huzzah! It works.
I'm in a box. I can't see shit.
So what we saw before, with just like the wall and everything, that's what he's kind of saying.
Yeah, basically. All right. Nope. I need the eclipse token.
What did we see, Eclipse?
And Heathcliff.
Like nothing on here looks like what we saw
No,
at all.
not really. It's very strange.
Irina has pulled back her habit, and she has donned some armor as she's moving through the house. And she pulls out a longsword, which she's walking with in one hand, and a torch in her other hand. And so she's standing behind you guys on the stairs. And the thudding appears to be coming from some wine casks along the wall.
Does that mean I'm drunk inside my coffin?
Eclipse, Heathcliff, what do you guys do? Do you guys want to go ahead and roll me? Yeah, Eclipse and Heathcliff and Abel, could you go ahead and roll me initiative checks, please?
Oh, fantastic. Am I rolling this at disadvantage too?
Technically, yes.
Okay, I should not have asked.
This would be a perfect opportunity. I looked up exhaustion, and it's exhaustion with a capital E : space the level.
The level.
At least that's what the forums said. So it'd be like
There-
exhaustion : space 1 for one level of exhaustion.
Totally thought you were about to say E. coli instead of E. colon. I was like, I'd be more worried. Alright, so disadvantage, initiative.
Well, hold on. Don't click disadvantage. Just roll initiative and see if it pops, because I now have exhaustion 1 on there.
Okay.
In fact, no, I don't, because that's a semicolon.
Okay.
No, that's a semicolon.
Huh?
That's the semicolon currently.
Oh, I had it right the first time? Okay,
Yep.
whatever. Whatever. Make your roll.
Can you? I'm not at my computer at the moment.
Nope, it's not tracking it.
Dang.
That's okay. We'll keep that initiative. Abel Gherkin. In it. For a nat 1, so 3. So Heathcliff. It is your turn, sir.
So I hear this pounding coming from the casks over behind the
Over by the
Tables
wall,
of-
yes.
broken beer bottles.
Yep.
Do I know exactly which cask it is?
You just hear it coming from the southern side of the casks.
Okay. So
Start with your movement.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
When you get to
35.
30, is 35 your movement?
35 is my movement. 30 would
Okay.
put me right there.
When you get to 35, you hear
That wasn't me.
and you hear this strange meowing, yowling sound. It's actually coming from the... So you are on the, effectively, the southwest. It is on the southeast corner of this room. And it sounds like there's a cat. It sounds like there's more than one cat over there. But there's just something really, like, comically off about its meowing. So now that it's come to the action phase of your character's turn, do you use your action to figure out the cask, to figure out the cats? What would you like to do?
I'm going to use part of my free action, the spoken action, to tell Eclipse that I'm hearing meowing from the southeast corner, and that I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out which cask Abel is in, and then I would like to figure out which cask Abel is in.
I will respond. It's like, yes, I will go find the cats because apparently I'm the cat and I should do that.
I feel like that was accidentally racist.
That wasn't what I was implying, but okay.
All right, you're going to figure out which one he's in. Roll a perception check. Well, you're going to figure out which one the noise is coming from.
Yes. We're at 19.
Oh, yeah, you're certain of which one it is, and you actually see, like, the lid of the cask, the top of the cask, trying to wiggle itself open.
Okay.
So there's a pounding sound, and it's trying to wiggle itself open.
Do I have any action left that I can take to help, or did me figuring it out use up my entire action?
I'll give you this one. You can help another for his next action to try to pop the top off.
Cool. Well, then I will help Abel next time his turn comes around to pop the top off.
Okay. And then your passing turn?
Yeah.
Irina heard what you had to say, and so, because her light only extends 20 feet in front of her, 5, 10, 15, 20, she's actually going to go ahead and move down 20 feet. And upon doing so, she triggers... This should auto-place. Let's see what it does. Nope, it didn't. That was useless. Cool. I'm going to have to manually place these guys. Which is... Oh, wait. Maybe if I drop this. That only dropped one. Cool. Give me 1 sec. All of the cats are in the tracker. Unidentified. Now I have to drag their tokens onto the thing. Ooh, what size are they? Tiny. Technically, they can fit multiple in a square.
Oh goody, a swarm of cats.
However, it's not letting me fit multiple in a square. That's not helpful.
Can you put a token down and then like a number on it, maybe?
Well, they have their own identifying markers.
Oh, gotcha.
But they'd all stack on top of each other. Even if you tried to shrink the token, it would still default to the middle. You wouldn't be able to do like 4 in a square.
Yep, which is kind of frustrating. That's okay. Hey, why did that become visible? Oh, because it's the one I'm working on, maybe? It is because it's the one I'm working on. Interesting. It's alright, we're still learning stuff about this program. Okay. As she steps down, they actually become visible.
Oh, they're not adorable.
So creaking steps have led into a damp, cobweb-draped cellar containing dusty racks and 8-foot-tall wine turns. One of the casks has already burst open, covering the stone floor in crimson stains. As for these creatures... Share image. That is what you see.
I can't. Oh, that's okay. It's. I was like, what are those spiny things? Are they part of their teeth? But it's just them crunching the bone. I'm guessing the force from the crunch.
Yep, shattering bone.
So it looks like the only thing you have to worry about with these guys is, don't get them wet and don't feed them after midnight.
Yeah, basically. Irina mutters something under her breath that Eclipse, you can hear from where she's at, even with your disadvantage, and you feel like she said Gramishka.
Gramishka. Is that Russian for gremlin?
I mean, it kind of sounds like little gremlin, I guess. They are cat-sized, magically unstable creatures with a taste for the trappings of magic, particularly spellbooks, spell components, familiars, and the like. Irina still has an action after she gets there, so she immediately, you see her take a swing. These creatures are not happy. It seems as though they were actually luring her down there the way a predator might. And so she draws her weapon and takes a swing at one that's making a weird sort of chortling sound, as though it's almost laughing at her. Oh, I'm sorry, I had her equipped with a longsword. It's a rapier. Ignore that. She successfully hits it.
Hey. She
skewers it very well. Her rapier slices into its side, and it lets out this yowling sound. But unfortunately for her, it's that one's turn. This one turns back to her, immediately frustrated with her, and tries to bite her. And hits, its fangs sinking deep within her flesh. Whoops. Undo last damage. Dropped it on the wrong thing. That should drop on her. Did it successfully.
I love how it still did the same damage. Or almost the same damage.
Yeah. It bites into her and she lets out a scream. She is hurting bad.
She didn't hear me screaming, she bit me. Just saying.
Below her, or below that one, an even smaller one comes running past, trying to make its way. It looks like it's trying to make its way to you, Eclipse, but it tries to bite her as it runs past. For a miss. Provokes an attack of opportunity from her as it continues on its way towards you, Eclipse. She misses with her rapier at that one.
Okay.
The one that was on the wine table runs around, gets advantage to try and attack her. also misses. Lucky her. Eclipse, it is your turn.
It is my turn. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have that one there, that one there. I was going to try and heal her, but that would provoke multiple attacks of opportunity. So not the best idea. Here's me trying to not say that, and I keep saying it. Let's see, we can. Let's see, what's the best? Okay, we can try that one. Maybe.
What are you going to try and do?
Okay, so if I use Thunder Wave, it would affect her.
Thunder Wave.
A wave of thunderous force shoots out from you, each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you.
Yes, but you could technically. So I wonder if my players will see this on the map. Pointers, a square. You could have Why is it trying to rotate? Now it won't let me click and drag it. There we go. You could technically cast it right there and hit just one of them. Or right there and hit just one of them. But if you cast it... I'm sorry, I have to let go of it, huh? Before it can even let you see it. Or is it moving it? No, it's moving it. Sweet. So there it would hit one. There it would hit one. But if you go there, you would hit two and her. Yes.
If I would move to the left one space, though, it would hit both. Right? No. I'd have to move down. Oh, yeah.
You could personally back up a square.
Actually, if I did it from... Oh, yeah, I could back up. Well, no, I'd have to go forward a square, wouldn't I?
Back up the stairs one square so that you're not standing in the square from where I currently have it set. You'd hit two of them.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
That would provoke an attack of opportunity.
Wait, aren't I on stairs, though?
Yes.
And it's multiple levels. It's like below me, but is there...
The cube is 15 foot, so it's 15 foot up and down, too.
Well, no,
so
I get that, but I'm saying his attack of opportunity,
If you move out of reach of him, it provokes an attack of opportunity as you leave reach.
My question is am I already in reach?
Yes.
Because of I'm on, level above him.
You're a level above him, but you're still on the stairs immediately up from him. Technically, he's already on the bottom of the stairs.
So he would be... I'm gonna move my guy real quick. He'd be right over here then, technically? Because the stairs...
No, it's two sets of stairs. It comes down at a triangle.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought it went up from the left and then just cornered and then kept going up on the right.
You know what? Your mental image of it is better than mine. You're right. Those are the stairs coming down. Look, far be it from me to be the GM that fails to admit his mistake. You are right. Again, if you didn't already have an inspiration, I'd give you one. He cannot get to you from that side. He is below the stairs to the upstairs. I put him in the wrong spot.
Well, I guess I have the extra one. Abel used the one I gave him already, so he can have my other one.
There's nothing you can... he didn't use his inspiration yet.
I thought he rolled again for strength.
He rolled on a second turn. He didn't re-roll.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
If I cast it there. I still wouldn't be able to hit both from there, would I?
You'd probably need to come down the rest of the stairs.
Yeah.
But then if you sat 3 out from the wall, even if you were 1 down from the stairs, you'd be able to hit both of those top 2 cats.
So you're saying that if I'm right here?
No, I'm going to move mine. I'm saying so that if you were right here.
Well,
yeah, if you were where he is, where he just put his token, where you are now, you would be able to hit 13 and the fairy miniature.
Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and do that.
Because, here, I'll draw it as a cube. Pointers, thing. Ah! You would hit that, down one more. You would hit that area.
Oh, so it doesn't have to originate around me. I can pick a point.
Yeah, as long as you're on a side of it. As long as you're
okay.
actually on a face of the cube.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, well, I will go ahead and cast Thunderwave that.
I believe Thunderwave targets saving throws, correct?
Yes. Constitution.
Constitution DC 14, sweet. So yeah, just drop that saving throw. I can make them roll it, or you can auto-pop proc it by dropping that dice roll on the target.
Okay, so I would just, let's see.
Where it says Con DC 14H, if you just click and drag that onto each one.
Okay, so... And does this have disadvantage, or is it just...
No.
Okay. There's 1 and 2.
One failed, one succeeded. All right, now you drop the drag and drop the 2d8 thunder on each of their characters.
Okay.
The very miniature should auto split the damage in half. It did. Boom, you killed one of them though. Or well, it's dying.
And then I guess as... let's see, there's 4 of them.
This is very energetic combat music.
So, I can assume a wild shape is a free action, right?
A wild shape is a bonus action.
Or bonus action.
Yes. Also, I just realized the very miniature has a reaction to you.
Oh. Fantastic.
The first one you dropped, no problem. We're not going to worry about him. As for this one, it begins to emanate magical energy. Each creature within 30 feet of it must now make a Constitution saving throw. This does not have disadvantage for you.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration point.
Okay. Irina completely shrugs this off. She nat 20'd.
God damn it.
Yeah, you're taking this. Sorry, buddy.
I don't think I've succeeded to roll with inspiration yet.
No, I don't think so. So the Grimishka begins to well with energy from the spell you cast, and it lets out this hideous yowl hissing sound, and the energy blasts off of it. And you take 2 force damage from the magical energy discharged from the cat.
Oh, yay.
Irina, who has her sword still pinned in that first one, looks over her shoulder to you and says, "Careful, my friend. Grimishka, they are allergic to magic."
Fantastic.
Are you going to do anything else for your turn? Do you use your bonus action?
I will use my bonus action and go into my starry form.
Ooh, what does starry form do, Eclipse?
As a bonus action, you can expend a use of your wild shape to take on a starry form rather than transforming into a beast. While in your starry form, you retain your game statistics, but your body becomes luminous. Your joints glimmer like stars, and glowing lines connect them as on a star chart. This form sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. This form lasts for 10 minutes. It ends early if you dismiss it, no action required, are incapacitated, die, or use this feature again. Whenever you assume your starry form, choose which of the following constellations glimmers on your body. Your choice gives you certain benefits while in that form.
So the forms are Archer, Chalice, and Dragon.
Yes.
We'll worry about the benefit for whichever form you take.
Yes, I am going to go with Archer, which a constellation of an archer appears on you. When you activate this form, and as a bonus action on your subsequent turns while it lasts, you can make a ranged spell attack, hurling a luminous arrow that targets one creature within 60 feet of you. On a hit, the attack deals radiant damage equal to 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay, I wonder... It did. It auto-populated the Starry Forms stuff on your druid actions. That's great.
Wait, what?
On his character sheet, it auto-populated Archer and Chalice as abilities it can do.
Which is
Nice.
odd, because there's also a third form that doesn't show up.
But the third form might not have an actual ability that it triggers.
Oh, that's fair. Constellation, when you make a save or a check, if you roll lower than a 9 on a d20, it counts as a 10. Which would be great a second ago.
However, your Actions tab doesn't have the stats right, I don't think. Because you make a ranged spell attack.
Yeah, 1d8 plus 4 radiant.
No, but your to hit is a ranged spell attack. So, let me test this, because I want to see something. Your spell attack is reading as +2. It should be a bare minimum of +4.
Oh yeah, I see that. Range +2. Oop, I guess double clicking it does stuff. So I guess you don't have to drag, can you just double click?
Yes.
Okay, so essentially I would roll and just add 2. Oh no, you're doing it perfect.
Oh, I see what it does. Yeah. It should have corrected it now.
So it should say range +6?
Yep. Because
Okay.
it's your ability modifier for spells plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay, and since my star form says, or with the archer, I can, with a bonus action, make an attack with it.
Yeah, you can fire it right now.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's see. One's dead, or dying, I suppose.
And the very miniature has already discharged his allergy, so if anybody's a safe target to hit with that, it's probably the very miniature.
And that's what I'll do. And I roll this with disadvantage, right?
Yes, technically you. Let me double check Exhaustion's rules, but I am pretty sure that attack rolls apply. Exhaustion 5e. Conditions. Exhausted is not a condition. There it is. So just starvation. Disadvantage on ability checks. Do attack rolls count as ability checks? That's a good question for us new to D&D. I believe they do.
Mercy says nope.
Nope. Okay, I'm gonna trust Mercy on this one. I thought they didn't, but I can't find where it actually says. Attack rolls use abilities, but they are not considered ability checks. So I'm gonna go with Mercy on this one. Mercy, go ahead and get 1 point of inspiration. As for Eclipse, please feel free to roll your attack roll.
Okay, with no disadvantage, correct?
With no disadvantage.
And I got 19.
That is a hit.
Okay, and I just drag the damage to the creature, right?
Yep, and it'll auto-proc it on the creature. Bam! You blasted that guy.
So 2 down. Well, 2 are
Tiny
dying.
miniature is dying. Do you want to do anything to finish your movement?
Let's see, that was how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 25 feet. I believe my speed
Is 30, so you can move one more square.
will move 1 this way. And I'll be good.
Okay. Okay. Pass turn then?
Yes. I forgot there's a button I need to hit for that, isn't there?
Yep, on the combat tracker. I can push it for you if you like.
I can get it. If
At
it
the
wants to
bottom.
come.
Yeah, bottom left of the combat tracker, there's an arrow labeled next actor.
Annoying frown.
This one lets out like a frumpy and begins to move towards you. They have a speed of 30. Up here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. And places himself behind you, trying to bite you. With a 21 to hit.
He very much bites me. Because I don't think my star form gives me any kind of dodge abilities, which is a shame.
For 9 points of damage. As this thing's fangs tear into you, you actually feel pressure coming off of it. Not just the sharpness of the bite, but actual force energy as it pushes into you.
And I guess as a reaction, I'll yowl in pain.
The one in the very bottom slowly pulls himself up on top of the table, and you realize he's the largest of the bunch. This one seems way overfed, so much so that it's obscenely heavy set. 10, 15, 20, 25. It's going to go that far and try to bite our dear friend Irina. For a successful hit. For 10 points of damage. Irina is feeling it. She's actually really tore up, guys. Abel, it is your turn. You hear this commotion of cats and thunderous magic going off outside in the of this casket you find yourself in. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at chat. Tiger Paladin and Mercy, you guys are my favorite. Go ahead, Abel. What are you going to try to do to get out of here? Are you going to try to get out again?
Yeah.
You have athletics with advantage.
There we go. There we go. Damn.
With only a 13. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, your athletics would only be that because you didn't take proficiency in athletics. Okay, you are struggling to get the top off.
The strength guy didn't take proficiency in athletics.
He's not the strength guy.
Oh, okay, but that's fine.
He's a paladin. Their stat is charisma. He's the face character. All right. Abel, I will allow you to take a second action to attempt to do that because technically we'll call one of those your move action because I don't want you to just constantly be stuck in this thing.
Better.
Hey, you're shoving at it, you're struggling with it, finally you pop the top off, and you were laying prone inside this thing.
Next turn, I was going to attack it with one of my smites.
Fair enough. Yeah, you pop the top off. Heathcliff, you... Oh, I need to actually pull Ez off of the combat tracker. because right now she's in the way. Heathcliff, you see this thing pop off, and it pops off with such force when it finally gives that it's enough to almost startle you, because you don't necessarily know it's your ally that's inside here, especially with all these cats going off doing their thing. And you were helping them. You had your hand sort of on the lid, so it just sort of blows the lid out of your hands. And you see Abel stuffed inside of this wine cask.
Cool. I'm going to use my soliloquy while it's still Abel's turn to tell him to hurry up and get out. We've got a cat problem.
And it's not me.
Abel, you technically still have a bonus action. Are you going to do anything with it?
I don't know what I can do with it.
You have several spells that are usable on a bonus action.
I'm looking through them.
Yeah, Searing Smite, Shield of Faith, Thunder Smite, and Wrathful Smite are all triggerable as a bonus action.
What about Bless?
I think Bless is an action.
Bless is an action. Shielded by Faith is a bonus action, though. Unless that was on your list.
Yeah, Shield of Faith was on my list.
Who's needing it most right now?
Well, you can't see the other guys. You can see you and Heathcliff.
Well, I'll cast it on Heathcliff.
Just go ahead and give him a +2 to his armor class.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see something. I think I can just drop that effect on
I got it.
Heathcliff.
You can.
Well, don't. I want to drop it. I want to automate it.
You want to see if that works?
Yeah.
It's supposed to.
Did yours automate and go up?
It did not change, but we'll see what it does when I get attacked. I should have an AC of 17 with that.
Yeah, it does show it in the combat tracker as an effect on you.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, yeah, it shows it as an effect, but my AC on my character sheet didn't change, is what I was
Yeah,
getting at.
but I'm saying it shows AC +2 as an effect. So it should hopefully auto do it when somebody tries to attack you.
Good, yes.
So,
Alright. Let's see if the
Abel,
works first.
can you pass turn?
Yes.
Or do you need me to?
There we go. How's that?
Interesting. It passed turn and then dropped to the out of combat stage. So, Heathcliff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a setting I have because it's possible to enable the setting so that you guys have to re-roll initiatives at the beginning of every combat turn.
Ah.
So I might have that enabled, and if I do, that would justify why that ends that way.
Alright. Well, we're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And we're going to attack the Grimishka with an annoying frown.
Are you punching it with your fists, or are you drawing weapons as you run?
I'm drawing weapons as I run both of them. 2 short swords, 1 in each hand.
So your item interaction is pulling a weapon, as well as your movement drawing a weapon. Got it.
Yes. So... Oh, nope. That should have had advantage.
Yes, it should.
We're a 19.
You successfully hit it.
So I'm going to target it.
I said, as he's attacking, I warn him not to use magic on these things until just don't use magic. They don't like it.
Don't worry. I'm not using magic. Alright, so I have him targeted. I've got my sneak attack.
Stabby stab. You drive your blade through the annoying frown,
Nice.
and it falls
And then
unconscious.
Alright, so that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I still have 10. 10 feet of movement is not going to get me very far. But I can get in here. That's not how I move my character. I can get in here by arena.
You climb
And at
up on
least-
top of the
Yeah.
cabinetry?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least so she has some moral support. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, I'm gonna offhand double stab 13.
The one that's
Ah.
dying.
Cool.
Or single stab it. Yeah, for a double death.
I just want to point out the exuberant one below Arena is red and it's dying, but the one above her says it's dying too, but it's yellow.
So on my side, the ones that are dying are gray. The one below her is
is
heavily damaged and is red, and the other one, the fat one, is green and completely healthy.
With it zoomed out how I have it showing the whole room. I guess the gray on a red background makes it look yellow.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, gray is dying. Got it.
And that's gonna end my turn.
Okay, Irina's turn. Irina decides to use her second wind because she has been beat the heck up. So ability second wind. I wonder if it added it to her tab. It did!
Huzzah.
For 9 healing. And it auto-applied. Awesome. Even better. And second wind, I believe, is a bonus action. It is a bonus action. Excellent. What are we laughing at?
Mercy.
Oh boy. Against her actions, she takes her rapier. Stabby stabby, exuberant chortle. And misses. Unfortunate. She's going to action surge, because why not? If you've got the opportunity, do it. And miss.
Wow.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed. Irina swings at the air, her rapier slashing, missing both times. And it's the chortle's turn. He lets out this chortling sound as he gets a 22 to hit her. Its fangs digging deep, but nowhere near as deep as they had. She takes 5 points of damage. It skipped everybody else that was unconscious, so I need to make saving throws for very miniature and for 13. Very miniature, okay. 13. Okay. Um, 13 was the one that you had stabbed?
Yes.
13 is dead. It rolled a nat 1 for its saving throw, and it had already taken 2. So at 4 death saves, it's dead.
Yeah.
Note the remaining blood splatter in its place. Eclipse, your turn.
Okay, I will use... I can do the bonus actions before I do anything, right?
Yes, as long as they don't say otherwise. Some bonus actions say they have to be done in a specific order.
Okay, so I am... Let me double check. Nope, it doesn't say specific time in the turn. I will go ahead and use my luminous arrow and aim at the chortle, Grimishka.
Okay, go ahead and tag a -2 before you make your attack roll. As it has partial cover. Oh, actually, based on character size, creature size, you need to tag the -5 before you make the attack roll. Because Irina is giving it a poop ton of cover.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is I should, like, move here before doing it?
Yes, but it's a ranged attack, so you would then roll it with disadvantage if you moved there.
Even though it's a... I thought... Because it's an action.
It would become disadvantage because you're using a ranged attack while in melee range.
Okay, same if I go to the square above?
Yeah, because you're still within melee range of the target.
Gotcha.
Or of an enemy, rather.
Okay. So let's see. -5. And then
You could. I'm going to move your character really quick. If you want to use your ranged attack, have no failures, or no disadvantages. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You could move there.
Well, because my original plan is I want to attack the Grimishka, and then I want to get close enough to Arena to cast Cure Wounds.
Well, Cure Wounds is still going to take an action to cast anyway, so you won't be able to cast... Oh, you're wanting to do that as your...
Action, yeah, because my attack...
This turn. Gotcha. Well, you can attack from where you're at for a -5.
So,
it'll still
there
be
is also the obscene heavyset Grimishka that is...
He's trying to get a kill shot.
I know.
So, we spent enough time debating it. Eclipse, what would you like to do? Are you going to shoot from where you're at?
I'm going to shoot from where I'm at, -5. It's still a +1, so... Fingers crossed.
For a 13 to hit. This is the exuberant chortle.
Yes.
That counts as a hit.
Huzzah. And then I will do
You
this.
trigger its magic allergy.
Do I hit it first?
This is an immediate reaction that it spontaneously occurs as a reaction to the magic. So basically, you summoning the energy triggers it.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
It wells with energy right before your attack hits it, and it heals before your attack hits.
Okay.
You see it recover, its wounds begin to stitch together. Now roll your damage on it.
So that's 7 + 4. So 11.
Yeah, that's still enough. It healed and didn't matter. That would have been enough to take it down from full. That particular one did not have very many hit points.
Okay, now for my movement action, I will move right next to Arena. And I will cast Heal Wounds, or Cure Wounds, on her.
Yep. Yep. You can drop those dice directly on her.
Gotcha.
Heal for 9. That is your second spell slot used.
Yes.
Look at her character sheet really quick. She's only down by 1 hit point currently now, after that healing.
And then after that, that should be it. So I'll go ahead and end my turn.
Annoying Frown makes a saving throw. Making it Heavyset's turn. Which, of course, is going to keep trying to bite Irina, mostly because that's the closest target, and it doesn't see the point in getting any closer to the rest of you. Misses.
Yay.
Gherkin, your turn. The top is off. You're able to climb out. Technically, you're prone, so it uses half your move to climb out.
You can maybe join the fight now.
Except I don't think he has any ranged attacks.
Aw, it's like we left one for you.
What do you do, Gherkin?
The first thing I do is unmute my microphone.
That's a good idea. What's the second thing you do?
Cast Bless.
Okay. Bless says to pick
3 creatures
Up.
of my choice within range.
within 30 feet of you, so make sure you're within 30 feet of everybody.
I'm working on it.
Your grand total movement is 30 feet, so it costs you 15 feet just to climb up from prone within the thing. So to get here, you're 15 feet. I was trying to drop it right here. So you have 15 feet of movement left from right there.
Is that 15?
5, 10, 15. Yes, that is 15 feet of movement and puts you within 15 feet of everybody else. So you can bless them.
And I cast bless on everybody.
Excellent. I will go into your character sheet and I will drop the bless effect on everybody.
Thank you.
Which 3?
Wait. If you cast bless, you will lose concentration on Shield of Faith, just for the record.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. And I assume the 3 he's talking about that he drops it on are the 3 other players, the 3 other characters in the room.
Yes.
I really hope so.
No, I cast them on the Gramushkas. For taking so goddamn long to get me out of the coffin.
Combat tracker, do what you're supposed to. Don't frustrate me. Okay. Bless is applied.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. You want to pass it for me?
Yeah. If my computer would stop being so slow.
Yeah, mine was lagging too for a second there, so it must be a server issue. Heathcliff.
Mine has been for a little bit. Do you want to remove that +2 AC from me?
Oh, it didn't auto dump it?
Nope.
Again,
All right.
missing your chance to screw with your DM. you could have just had two concentrated spells on you.
I find I like to be honest more than screw with my DM. So I'm gonna move over next to Irina and attack the obscenely heavy-set cat. Technically twice, but we're gonna do it one at a time. Or a nat 1 with a grand total of 8.
Effect embarrassed. You receive a -2 to a penalty to attack rolls against target until you successfully hit the target with an attack.
Nice. Well, I'll take that -2 and swing my other short sword at it.
You're embarrassed. How could you miss such a large target?
Right. For an 18 to hit.
You successfully hit. The embarrassed tag is gone.
Nice. That drops that. I need to target him. And I drop my offhand. Oh, my things are being really slow. There we go.
Yeah, I wonder why everything's lagging so much.
I don't know. For 6 damage.
Dying. Obscenely fat guy is dying.
Nice.
Do you pass turn?
Yes.
Coming to Irina's turn, she immediately turns and takes quick stabs at the obscenely heavy set. No, actually, we'll target the exuberant chortle first. Neither one of them have made death saves yet, so she's only got 1 attack. Exuberant chortle, which takes 2. You know what? She then looks at you guys and says, "Are we planning on just killing them?"
Yeah.
That was my plan.
Okay. Then we will drop combat so that we can just curb stomp these things. So I'll go ahead and remove them from the combat tracker when things stop lagging. if it'll play. There we go. I was trying to adjust the music from combat to normal. And it's not, I was like, and it's not playing. There we go. Must be part of the lag that we're getting. Alright, so combat completed. You guys fought off the Grimalkin. Irina seems very frustrated that it was such a struggle.
Well, that was fun.
That was
I don't
something.
see what I don't see what you guys are all up in a roar. That was easy for me.
Irina looks at you and says, that's because you were napping for half the battle.
Yeah, well rested.
Tell us about this room you found.
You guys know more about it than I do. I woke up here.
What do you mean you woke up here?
He woke up like this.
Yes, but how did you get here?
I haven't the foggiest.
Strange indeed. Well, I say we take a look around this room. And when you guys do, you notice, like I say, wine racks, which you're more than welcome to peruse, as well as a door to the south.
I'll go
Yeah,
take
I'd like
a peek
to-
at the wine racks. Deep. I'm assuming
Eclipse
you
is
check
going to
out
the wine racks. What were you going to do, Heathcliff? No, the racks are the tables in the center.
I was
Oh,
gonna go through the door, but only once everybody was ready.
Okay.
Considering we came down here and basically got ambushed by cats.
The racks are packed with bottles bearing obscure names such as Purple Grape Mash Number 3 and Ludendorff Arsenic Wine.
wine.
All of it appears to have leaked from the bottles or spoiled long ago. What is your passive perception?
Mine is. Give me 1 second. Character sheet's hiding behind the map. There we go. Okay, so my passive perception is. And with disadvantage, do I minus something from it?
You -5.
Okay, so it'll be 11 then.
Laid across one of the racks is an especially long apron. Within its pocket, you find a silver tasteven, which is a wine taster, and a small silver key. I'm sorry, it's listed as large key when I open the parcel, but small key in the description.
Alright, go ahead and let everyone know I found a key.
I place the key on your character sheet and the tasteven,
Wonder what that could
which
be
is a
for.
small, shallow cup for tasting wine.
Good to know. Might need a drink later. Is there anything in the room that has something that like a key would need?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, Heathcliff is getting ready to open the other door, waiting for everyone else. Irina is near him. Abel, what are you doing?
I'm getting ready to go through the door with everyone else.
Okay. Do you join them when you're done, Eclipse?
Yes, I wander down and again wonder how I am once again the only wounded one.
Because you cure wounds to somebody who wasn't as, like, she had been beat up, but luckily she had healed herself with her second wind.
And then she got hurt again, so she was under half health. She was where I was.
Tiger Paladin says he's still not getting music. Are you guys hearing music?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not anymore. Let me turn it up. Okay, I just need to turn it up. It's a really quiet song.
Yeah, it is pretty quiet currently.
I'm trying to pay attention to chats for sound quality issues, so... Yeah, I'm trying to keep it quieter than most people's talking, Tiger Paladin. Alright. You open the door. which means I now need to do that. Old furnishings, rotten pantry stables, and boxes of mundane junk fill this musty storage space.
Interesting. I kind of want to check what's back here.
Roll me a perception check. You find nothing special, but you do note that this particular wall is distinct from the other walls of this room. There's something about it that stands out. It's made of black stone as opposed to the just casual stone wall of the rest of the basement. So he's looking at the wall. Eclipse.
I will enter the room and take a peek at these boxes over here. Well, containers, I guess.
Perception checks or investigate checks?
Let's see. Perception with disadvantage.
You two find nothing of import in this room. It's all rotten staples and stuff. But again, the wall, the west wall, stands out as being unique.
Okay, well, I will wander over there and then my turn.
Abel, sir.
I'm standing guard to make sure that we don't get attacked again.
So you're just kind of like hanging out at the door area?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys want to try to figure out why the wall stands out, you can make a history check.
Okay.
I'm trying not to prompt stuff like that from you guys. Just don't forget that you guys have other skills you can use, like history.
Did you want to roll that now or wait till our turns?
It's back to the top of initiative, Heathcliff's turn, so it's up to you if you want to try to identify the features of this wall.
Yes, I would like to try to see why this wall is different and what makes it so special.
History check.
For 10.
Other than that it appears to be the same stone that the tower's made out of, it doesn't really stand out. To you.
I am going to tell Eclipse that information, that it seems to be the same stone as the tower is made of, but I can't get anything else out of it, in hopes that it'll help him maybe jog his memory or try to figure out what's going on. And I'm going to pass turn.
I wonder what Irina's skill sets are. Let's take a look.
Didn't you say she was going to help protect me? It's
Yep,
the other way around here.
She's also trained. Yeah, right. She's also trained in history. Do you guys? She walks over and begins studying the wall that Heathcliff pointed out. Do you guys want her to make a history check?
Yes.
Interesting, she says. Very interesting. She scratches at her face for a moment, runs her hands along the wall. There was rumor that Castle Levents was dug deep into the mountainside. It's possible that some of it may still remain beyond this chamber.
I wonder if there's something behind this wall then.
That's your
She
cute,
says,
big destroying statue man.
So you pass. You tell Abel to come take a swing to it.
Yeah. I say, hey, it sounds like there might be something behind this wall. Abel, if you want to repeat your performance with the statue, but with this wall, go ahead.
I take a swing at it.
Cool. Roll your weapon damage.
Come on.
I just realized that none of this room is currently showing on the stream. Ha 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 ha. Would you mind adjusting the map so we can see the lower area? Yeah. Of course, I want you guys to be able to see what's going on too. Ta-da! There you go, guys. My apologies. It's the joy of running this on 2 separate computers.
8 damage.
Vision is overrated. Yeah, use theater of the mind, guys. 8 points of damage. All right, Abel Gherkin, you take 4 points of damage, and your sword takes 4 as you just take a huge divot out of the blade of your sword. The wall doesn't even have a scratch. Please
Well.
feel free to make an insight check for me, Abel.
Yeah, that's not good.
So my guess is that might be a button. Maybe if there's something on this wall.
22 insight.
This wall seems to be protected. You are 100% certain that the wall itself reflected your shot back at you. It wasn't that you bounced off of stone. When you swung that blade, you felt an energy sort of vibration push it back.
Okay.
Oh. Hmm. Is you said his sword is damaged, right?
Yeah, I mean it's nothing he can't repair, but yeah,
Okay.
the sword took a pretty good ding.
Because if I'm looking at this spell correctly, I could technically use mending on it.
Yeah, arguably, but it's aesthetic damage. It's not actual mechanical.
It maybe got some burrs.
Yeah.
So let's see if it reflected your thing. Maybe an Arcana check.
You're more than welcome to try.
Mm.
But it's not his turn.
Okay, Heathcliff.
Sorry, I was waiting for
I
Abel
just
to
want to point
turn.
out, my turn somehow got skipped.
Yeah, his turn got skipped when he had Abel come up and take the swing. Remember, guys, it's not a matter of turns. Don't
Fair
wait
enough.
for turns. You guys are in non-combat timing. I only use the initiative to help control talking.
Okay. Well, I wanted I mean, Eclipse and I could go at the same time, but I wanted to like examine the wall, not for defects, but to see if there might be like a hidden mechanism or an unlocking catch or something like that to let us through without.
Investigate while you're trying to explore the wall.
Yes.
If he wants to do investigate, I can do Arcana at the same time.
Do your Arcana check. Yep, I was just about to say that.
Oh, that's animal handling. Damn it!
I was like, wow, that's really good.
I swear I picked up Arcana, and it keeps going like one up or one down.
It might be part of the server lag issue that we're having.
I'm gonna roll. Oh, I didn't roll disadvantage that time. It unclicked it. Come on, James. Eh.
Oh. With the given rolls, you sense nothing magical about the door, Arcana, or the wall. No runes stand out. Nothing's giving a magical vibe to you at all. As far as the investigate, there's no button. It's a perfectly smooth stone wall.
Is there anywhere on the wall we can push?
No, with his investigate, he would be able to determine that. There are no
Okay.
pressure plates that he can find.
So there's no buttons, pressure plates, keyholes.
It's just a big ol' stone wall.
Nice.
I wonder if there's anything else in the.
Somebody have spell detect magic.
I do, but that would only tell us if there was something magical, not what the magic is.
Well, with detect magic, you can actually focus on what school it's from. But as I've said, you have no reason to believe that you personally have no reason to believe there's any magic on the wall.
Okay, so there's no button or no magic. It implies there's something else elsewhere that might deal with this wall.
Or that this is just a wall and we're not supposed to get through it at all, and there's a different way to get
If
there.
it was just a wall, it wouldn't have reflected the attack back at him.
Unless this wall is just a wall that is special.
That is special because it was part of the old fortress.
Yes. What I'm trying to get at is that this may be a wall, not a secret entrance.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, and the only thing we found in this room was something weird about that wall, we might want to go back to the other room and see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, I'd say we go upstairs and maybe find where this wall would be in the house, and then see if on the other side of it there's a way downstairs.
You guys have already been in all the rooms upstairs. They're even directly above this. And you in particular, Eclipse, that is the room you found the butler in. And you explored that room. You actually had pretty good checks. There was nothing special in that room that would lead downstairs to this.
The only other thing I can think of is maybe there's something with the wine kegs. On the
This
top of the
wall,
room.
does this black wall extend out of this room, or is it just this one wall in this one room?
It's just this one wall in this one room. And you know it matches the tower. The stone of the tower.
And there was no way that we saw when we were up there last time that there was like a circular staircase going down, just the one going up.
Just the one going up, yes.
We also didn't investigate that room very well to see if there was a...
Irina interjects into your guys' conjecture about what this wall may be, and she straight up says, sometimes a wall is just a wall. However, do not forget, the house itself seems to be haunted and haunting in its own way. Consider the possibility that we are simply not yet meant to go through this wall. Perhaps the house is hiding something.
I would say because we didn't go to the second floor, we stayed on the first.
Yeah, you guys only explored the first floor. There's still it's a 4-story house.
Jeez.
Well, I guess we should go upstairs and then we can go up the tower.
Yeah, I think we should explore the other levels and see what's here.
I
Okay.
agree.
There were 2 flights of stairs upstairs. There was the one in the tower, and there was the one in the foyer. Which one would you guys like to go up? And I'll place you at the top of those stairs.
I would say, since the tower matches this wall, I'd say the tower.
Well, here's the question. Do we want to explore the house first, or do we want to explore the tower first, not knowing if on the upper levels there's any connection between the two?
Or do you guys still want to figure out what's going on with the witch?
Or we have the witch, which we
Yeah.
were told to deal with by spirits.
By the person you guys betrayed.
Well,
And so we know she gets really upset if you don't do what she asks.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the witch is on an upper floor. You know what? I'm fine with taking either stairs.
Yeah, let's do the tower.
The tower? Okay.
Yep.
So we have 1 vote for the tower, 1 vote for neutral. Abel, where would you like to go? Tower? Okay. As you guys head up the stairs, you have to go up the stairs through the kitchen before you get across to the tower. When you go through the kitchen, you guys notice that loaf of bread is now sitting on the table in the kitchen. The hearth is still burning.
Interesting.
And I turn and say, "Do not eat that."
But I'm hungry.
Do you want to be locked in a coffin again? That's what I thought.
Irina looks up as you're passing through and says, "Are you sure the two are related?"
Well,
No.
Maybe.
But that was the only thing that he did that we all didn't.
Interesting. She kind of walks over and just like tears a chunk off the bread and nibbles on it. Science
Yep.
requires the testing of variables. So she takes a small nibble, kind of looks up and says, it's delicious. And just sort of walks away from it to continue her way through to the tower.
Well, all right then. To the tower, I suppose we go.
Okay. I need to pull up the map. Module. Reference manual.
Why couldn't we had this music 20 minutes ago when we were in combat?
Goes to area 5B. Okay. Floor 2. Enable line of sight. Enable disable lighting. Toggle token lock. Okay. Whoops. View. Nope. How about layers? Enable mask. Okay. I will drop you guys on the map, and then I will share it. Sharing record. You guys all have it?
Yep.
As you make your way up the stairs, you hear a horrified scream. The sound of the scream originates from above, but passes... yeah, so the scream follows downward, like you hear it as though it were moving. It goes all the way past you to the ground floor, and as though you hear someone going, "Ah!" And then it starts again. What?
I can take you guys with me, but I have to take my dogs.
If it helps, we're going to wrap up in about 12 minutes.
Okay.
So you hear this scream, "Ah!" And it sounds like it's farther away below you. And then you hear it again, "Ah!" And it just sounds like someone repeatedly falling through the tower.
Well, that's disconcerting.
And you feel wind rushing sort of past you down the stairs, as though something had fallen past you.
I envision the scene from one of the Marvel movies where Loki's like, I've been falling for 30 minutes.
Is there any landing on the second floor for us to get off?
They're right here, yeah.
Because it doesn't look like it on the map.
That's the circular landing in the center.
Right, but never mind. My question was there any way
Oh.
get to the second floor of the house?
Oh, no. No, there is not.
Okay.
Then I would do a cursory investigation of this landing just to make sure we're not, leaving something dangerous behind us and then continue upwards.
All right, as you try to continue upwards because you don't see anything, give me a strength saving throw.
Oh. Oh,
You
we
still have bless on.
So that would be a 4.
Yep, I'm removing bless right now.
Without bless.
Yeah, you stop dead in your tracks. The wind that's rushing past is so strong it brings you to a dead stop, not allowing you to pass further up the stairs.
See, that spell I was looking at earlier, the control elements, might have come in handy here.
Let me see. On a failed save. Oh. Sorry, you rolled. What'd you roll? Okay.
4.
Keith. It's your choice. Do you want to spend your advantage to try to roll again?
With a 4, probably, and you asking me that, probably.
With all that together, yes.
18.
Yeah, so you are simply brought to a stop. So you guys see him start walking forward and then just is brought to a stop as though he's leaning into a strong wind. Irina just watches you. Eclipse, you see him walk to a stop as though he's leaning into a strong wind.
I go ahead and, ask what's wrong.
I can't move any further up the stairs. It feels like there's too much here.
Ah!
And then there's that.
I'm honestly knowing it's just. Do I want to try and see if it's maybe per person, like the other hauntings have been? You know what? Why
You're
not?
more than welcome to try. Yeah.
I will go and
Okay.
try.
Cool. You get up right near him and you make a strength saving throw.
Oh, the other way. This is gonna be gross because this is with disadvantage.
Our saving throws advantaged. Hey, Mercy! Our saving throws affect by exhaustion. I'm not sure if Mercy's still there.
Well, he did mention something earlier.
Oh, he did. So that's at third level. You're right.
Exhaustion level 3.
Saving throws are affected at exhaustion level 3. So it's not affecting your saving throws right now.
So the one that dropped count, or do you mean just roll it again?
Roll it again.
That just spun in place on my side.
It's a 10. You do not have any inspiration to spend.
No.
So you fail. And by fail, you're going to go ahead and spend yours, Abel?
Yeah, I'll give him mine.
Yay.
Okay, roll again.
So let's break the curse and hopefully this succeeds.
Well, I did bless
Oh.
you early.
So we're just gonna stop wasting inspiration on my rolls.
You are thrown from the stairs. So this center circle is, the edges of it count as a landing, but there is actually a hollow center down the middle. And you are thrown from the landing by the strong wind.
Great.
And take 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Jeez.
Yep. Do you just drop unconscious? Yep, you do.
Not very much, because I'm gonna be at negative 23.
Well, yeah,
right.
well, you'd be at -3. But that's not how damage works in the game. When you take damage that takes you over your maximum, it just auto hits you at 0.
I go get him and lay on hands.
I do want to point out that's the first time I've got on
Dropped unconscious. So Gherkin heads back down the stairs and uses lay on hands. You're able to spend a maximum of 15, I believe, Gherk.
I don't know exactly how lay on hands works.
Ability,
5
lay
per-
on hands.
Paladin level, I believe.
Oh, it might be, 10. Hit points equal to your paladin level times 5. So yeah, you have a grand total of 10 you can spend.
Okay,
Do you spend them all?
sure.
Okay. Lay on hands. Heal Eclipse. Heal Eclipse for a grand total of 10 to Eclipse. Healing. You are conscious, laying on your back on the floor, looking at the top of this tower. You guys are back on the first floor. You guys do not hear the sound of the scream from down there.
I'm starting not to like this place.
They have good food.
Can I want to try to identify the scream and or try to see what's causing me to be blocked.
So what's causing you to be blocked is wind, and the sound is coming from a spirit of some kind. You're at least as sure of that much. So what are you trying to figure out with it?
I think I was more trying to roll an Arcana check, but I was trying to find a way to word it correctly. To try to see like exactly what was stopping us and how it was interacting so that we could overcome it or fix it. Or maybe we're just not supposed to be here right now.
This could be another room that's like the one in the basement. Perhaps the old fortress is simply secured off from us. I feel like you and Irina are having this conversation right now at the top of the stairs, and Irina would say that.
Leaning into the wind.
Yeah, Irina would say, I agree with you. It is possible that we simply are not meant to be here yet. The house is the haunting we seek to clear, but remember, it was built upon the bones of this fortress. Perhaps we have to clear the house before we can affect the fortress.
That's possible. Let's go down and see what the others think.
Okay.
Can we hear them?
Down.
Where they're at?
Yeah, you guys are only 10 foot below.
Like,
As you guys get...
like, I concur.
Yeah, you're able to yell that up as they're coming down the stairs. Yeah, the long and short is this tower is not letting you climb any higher. And when you get back to that bottom floor, you are unable to detect the sound of the faller, the leaper. So you can only hear it on the second floor and up.
All right. Well, then I would say that we as a group, well, I'd say to the group, I don't think that the tower is going to let us explore it as of right now. I'm thinking that maybe we should explore the house and see what else the house has going on before we attempt anything more with the remnants of the castle.
I agree.
And I would want to head back to the
First floor foyer?
yeah, and and take a short rest, get our breath back. Maybe
Irina would suggest moving into the parlor to do that, as that seems to be the only place that you guys have successfully secured.
read that. Wait, didn't you say there was a history of the area book that was in there?
Yes. There was actually a book for Castle events.
I would like to read the book on castle events while we're taking a short rest. Because it's not going to do anything for me. I'm trying to do it for everybody else.
I'm going to pull up the map. Did I successfully share the record to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to drop everyone's tokens in the main parlor. And that'll be where we leave it for today. So give me just a second and I will run our wrap up and give you guys your short rest. Module. Do this. Adventure, meeting in the mist. Nope. Guests of the house. There we go. Marina and Ez. Alright. So, you guys have explored a part of the basement, and you've tried to make it up the tower and couldn't. Today was a little bit stressful. You woke up, one of your allies was missing, another one of your allies had been fed upon. And so far, he hasn't told you guys that he's been fed upon.
And for the moment, I see no reason to tell them.
Irina is appreciative. She begins to nurse your wounds. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and trigger that short rest. Menu. Rest. Whoops. Can I undo that? Dang it, I can't. Well, you guys just scored a long rest.
Hey, I'll take it.
Cinematic long rest.
You know what? I'll allow a cinematic long rest. You guys are going to spend a couple hours in here. Lucky you guys. I'm going to be a polite GM that way.
Of whiskey, I'm going to be upset.
Which means you guys don't have to spend hit dice to heal.
Wait, am I at full health for like the first time in forever?
Yeah, technically you should have been at full health when you woke up this morning.
Oh yeah, that's fair. But I was exhausted, so it didn't count. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still exhausted. So.
Technically, your exhaustion is removed by the long rest.
It still shows on my thing.
Yeah, I know. I haven't removed it, but technically it would be. Heck, yours still says you're prone.
Yeah, I was just dragged to the foyer. That's what happened.
Yeah, you got a nap when you were dropped unconscious. That's where you got your long rest. All right, to everyone watching, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Please feel free to click that follow button, as we will be doing this every other Sunday. And then I also will be dropping these videos on YouTube every other Friday. So because we aired this week, it'll be this coming Friday that we air. It'll be the off weekend. And please feel free to click to follow me over there as well. We appreciate everyone who came out to hang out. Mercy, Tiger, and our lurkers. I want to say I have no judgment on my lurkers. I love all of you guys. Just help me get that follower count up, please. To everyone else, I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope my players had a great time, and I will catch you all next time with Exiles Into the Mist.
Is it Sunday yet?
Right?
Did we level?